Hello everyone, and welcome to an Education Commons video titled How to Protect Yourself from Phishing. In this video, we'll talk about what phishing is. I'll show you some examples of phishing. We'll also talk about how the university and how OISE will contact you, and how you can take action to stop phishing. So, the first thing we're going to answer is, what is phishing? Phishing is an attempt by criminals to trick you into sharing personal information through a fraudulent solicitation in an email or other electronic method. Phishing emails often appear legitimate and they pose a significant risks such as identity theft and data breaches. As a student, phishing attacks are very common, especially when it comes to things like fees and tuition payment or student employment. So I'm going to show you quickly an example of a phishing attack. So here you will see an email with a subject line titled "Final Reminder, Tuition Deposit Due Today or Academic Access Will Be Restricted." And there's a lot of information in the body of the email here to unpack. So let's go through some of the ways you can identify and determine if this is a legitimate email or a phishing email. So the first thing you want to consider are the requests for sensitive information. So usually they'll ask for personal information, student numbers, any sort of Interac information, which is something that the university and OISE would never ask for you because they likely already know your student ID and your student email. And they also want to pose as a trusted or legitimate source. So in this example, the sender poses as the University of Toronto staff trying to really influence someone into acting on something, whether it's to send money or send some credentials over. As we look a little closer, though, you'll see that there's a very unprofessional designer formatting, like the logo seems a little strange. It's not coming from the Rose office at OISE. It has the University of Toronto in text at the bottom, but not part of the logo. And there's also a sense of urgency. Basically, they need you to send them money right now. Otherwise, you'll never be a student again. And so this sense of urgency encourages the student to act under pressure and send off the information that's being asked. There's also incorrect or inconsistent details. So you may see some words misspelled or acronyms misspelled, things that typically wouldn't happen in an official email. Usually grammatical and spelling inconsistencies are also cause for concern. So you'll see here they've actually spelt the acronym wrong. They're not capitalizing the proper words, and it just kind of smells a little fishy when you're reading the email. There's also a suspicious sender address. So always pay close attention to the sender address to see if it's coming from an official U of T source. This one right here is coming from an at outlook.com, so you know that's probably not legit. And also the logo and branding. As I mentioned before, if it doesn't look like an official communication, if there's some things that are making you question the authenticity, you're probably right. So now let's talk about the Rose office. So as a student at OISE, you will be dealing with the registrar's office and student experience, the Rose office. They'll be the ones contacting you for most official communications, things like paying fees, paying tuition. But the important thing to note is that they'll never contact you in a direct email asking you to transfer money to something like an Outlook email or a PayPal, Venmo, e-transfer. All of your tuition and fees are only going to be paid for through Acorn using a credit card or online banking. Also, make sure that any emails you're receiving from the registrar's office are the official email addresses they're being sent from, as well as if you get called, that it's the official phone number, or if someone's contacting you on Zoom, that it's actually you who have joined the Rose official Zoom drop-in session. So now, how can you take action? Well, if you think you've received a phishing email, don't click on it, respond, or open any of the links. No one at OISE is ever going to demand immediate action for you to do something right away. So, if someone's saying, do this right now, maybe just hold on and try to do a bit more investigation in the email. We'll also never ask you to share things like your UTOR ID login, your password, your banking information, or your credit card numbers through email. Like I said, all your payments are going to go officially through Acorn. A common way that students are targeted are through job opportunities. And so OISE and U of T, they're never going to email you telling you about a job that's too good to be true. So if you're looking for jobs at OISE or at the university, make sure you're looking and applying through the official channels and websites, right? So if someone emails you with a job, it's likely not legitimate. If you have questions too, you can always join the Education Commons drop-in, which runs from Monday to Friday. So if you do think you've received a phishing email, there's a little button in your Outlook, whether you're using the desktop app or the web version, and it's called the U of T report phishing button. So by clicking that button, it will send the email off to the central team who can review the email. Alternatively, you can forward the suspicious email to report.phishing@utoronto.ca. Now, if you've already done some things like maybe you've clicked some links or you feel like your account may be compromised, you can always reach out to Education Commons directly, and we'll be happy to assist and bring in the right parties to come and help. As always, be safe out there when you're reading through emails. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And as always, reach out to Education Commons if you have any questions. Thank you.